Jay, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach with the Seattle Mariners and the Colorado Rockies. I want to thank you for coming to our camp. We're going to take a look at your swing today. And Jay, one of the first things I always take a look at with kids, or hitters of all ages for that matter, is that we're under balance. And for me, keeping those knees inside the feet and the head inside the knees, that's a good balanced position to start from. In your setup position, I wouldn't mind you have just a little bit more bend in your knees, just a little bit more athletic, a little bit more down into the ground. It'll help you stay balanced and provide a little bit more stability and power in your swing as we start to move forward. Okay, so we'll take it to the load process now. We're loading. We're trying to get weight into our backside here. I want to keep that weight on the inner part of that back thigh. All right, and again, it's important. We don't want to get stiff in our knees. We want to keep good bend in our knees, okay? So as we go forward now into the load, all right, there's a couple things that happen here. We get to this position, and again, we're going to point out this equal bend in both knees. All right, we've got to maintain that. You're good in the front knee. This back knee is starting to get just a little bit straight. All right, so we'd like to keep some good bend, some good athleticism in our legs. At this particular point, I'm looking to see to make sure that we've got knees inside the feet. We're good there. We got good balance in that regard. I want to make sure that these hips are square to home plate. And the way that we check all that is we take a look at this stride foot. If this stride foot can stay at 45 degrees or less, we're in a pretty good position. You can see here you're at 43 degrees, so you're in a good position now to make your first move into the ball. First move into the ball is with the back knee. Okay, the back knee is going to drive, whoops, let me do this. This back knee is going to drive into this front leg. All this energy that we stored right in here, we're now going to transfer that forward into this front leg, okay, right into there. So we'll go forward. You see we start to get the drive into there. Now we want to make sure that this knee right here does not get out over that front foot. Okay, we'll go forward a little bit. We can see we're starting to just take that knee just a little bit too far forward. Let's try to keep that knee more inside that front foot. Okay, now the first move with the hands is the elbow drops down into the slot. As this back knee is going forward, the elbow drops down into the slot, and we're going to get a connection with our back shoulder, our elbow, and our hip. You can see here our elbow's gone forward just a little bit. We don't want to get that ahead of our power source, which is pretty much this back hip. We want to let it stop right there, and then now we want the hands to start to work forward in front of our body. Okay, so we'll run forward to that point. Okay, now the hands are starting to work forward. Okay, we're starting to get the hands out here in front of the body. We'd rather see this knee at this point inside that front foot. All right, we're going to go forward. We get to contact. Ball got in on us just a little bit, but I do see some good things here. See palm up, palm down at contact. That's a good, strong position. Now I want to see your head and eyes looking right down the barrel of the bat here at contact. And by leaving my head and eyes down into the hitting area, it's going to allow me to get good extension through the ball. Okay, you've gotten a good backside turn here with your back foot. I see the shoelaces are facing towards the pitcher, which means we've got turned into the ball. We're getting our backside through the ball, and we're transferring that energy and that power in our legs by getting a good full turn on the backside. That looks good. Okay, now we'll take it to extension. Now what I'm starting to see here, I do see the barrel of the bat facing the pitcher, which is good extension. We want to make sure that this foot or the shoelaces on our foot get a good full turn, and I can release this backside forward into my swing. We'll run this forward a little bit, and you can see we start to recoil. The heel's going to start to come back down on the ground, and when we do, we start to cut off our swing. Swing starts to go there, We want, after we get good extension, we want to get a nice, good, long, full finish with a good, long bat arc all the way around. And the biggest thing that's happening here is we've recoiled, and our heel has come back down on the ground. It's taking away from our power, and it's taking away from our extension throughout our swing. Okay, we can see here we fall all the way back on the heel, and now your bat's finishing over here. Okay, so what I'd like to do is we're going to go all the way back to when we get to this position right here. We'll run it back to that position, all right, the main things that we're going to focus on, and we're going to do a lot of tee work. I'd like for you to do a lot of tee work. We're going to set this tee on the outside half of the plate, even with my front foot right here, okay? But it's going to be on the outside part of the plate. And now I'm going to make sure that when I get to the loaded position that I've got good bend in both knees. I want to be athletic and I want to be balanced, all right? Now we're going to go forward. We're going to make sure that these knees are working inside of our feet. This back knee we just need a little bit more bend in it. We just don't want this front knee lunging forward to get out over our front foot. We don't have a brace. We don't have anything to hit into if that knee doesn't stay inside that front foot, okay? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check to make sure that when the elbow gets down into the slot, I got a good connection right there. Now I just want to feel like my hands are starting to work in front of my body, okay? And Jay, the feeling that the hands have would be just like skipping a flat rock over a lake or a pond. We want that elbow to stop, and now we want the hands to release as though I were skipping a flat rock, and we'll feel that bat speed and that extension through contact, and that will help us stay on the ball and hit through the ball and hit the ball a lot harder than with a lot of consistency. So that would be my suggestion, is just making sure that we stay athletic in these knees, and then making sure that once I get to this connected point right here, elbow, shoulder, hip, that now all I want to do is I want my hands to feel like I'm skipping a rock. So that top hand, your right-handed thrower, that top hand, the elbow would stop in the slot, and then the hand would go forward to extend that rock to skip across the lake. That's the feeling of the bat speed and the extension that I want going through the baseball. I want to maximize my bat speed and my whip of my bat right at contact on the baseball, okay? This is a drill, bud. I think that will help you. Probably should do this drill 3-4 times a week anytime you have practice. If you're doing it in a cage, we're going to be driving this ball through the right side of the cage. If we're on a field, we're going to be hitting this ball through line drives through the second baseman and line drives into right center field. But it's a feel I think you're going to get where you're going to feel your balance is better. You're going to feel the extension of your bat and the bat speed of your bat. And go ahead and release this backside. Let this backside come all the way through. We don't want any recoil falling back that's going to take away from our extension and our power. Okay, bud? Good luck to you, and thanks for coming to our camp.